All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 22 miles per hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. 30 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Fake shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. 1.5. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Listen, Tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The LEM footpads are only impressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to step off the LEM now. That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
Did you never allow yourself to think, well, we're going on a trip which nobody's ever been on before, we may never get there, and even if we get there, we may never come back? Didn't you think this?
Well, it's rather hard to recall exactly what was going through your mind at a lot of times, but I do remember some time when we were on the surface of the moon, and I think actually when we were outside, the sort of nebulous thought coming to me that there were 2 people obviously further away from home in terms of the necessary things that were required to get them back home. 2 people further away from home than 2 people have ever been before, but there are probably more human beings watching and paying attention to our very movements right this moment than any people have been before. And that's sort of an unusual...
You were aware of that, were you, at the time?
I certainly was, yes. I was quite aware throughout the entire mission that we were on center stage to a degree, that we were being watched. And I think both of us were conscious of the extraordinary responsibility that was on our shoulders to carry out the mission correctly and to make sure that if there were things that would prevent us from successfully completing the mission, that they would not be things that would be our fault in case they went wrong.
And when you were walking about on the moon, when you took those first hesitant steps, was anything different to what you expected it would be?
It was very unusual the way the dust would not cloud and would go out, radiate around, and then hit the ground. It had not occurred to me, nor to other people, I guess, that it would be difficult to tell when we were standing perfectly upright. It was also very clear to see, looking out toward the horizon, that we were not on a flat, level terrain. No one could ever make a statement that the moon is flat the way that people thought that the Earth was flat. It was very obvious that it curved away.
I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does, I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curve-top radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we're going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
So welcome back. This short episode that I wanted to talk about. We got JD our friend Matt, OG, and I just looked myself in the face, and me. I'm drinking a very, very cinnamony whiskey with Coke. I don't
It's
know
a
what these
Devil's
are drinking. Devil's
cinnamon
That's what I was
spirits.
drinking also.
It is
You
very
guys finished it off.
cinnamony.
Now it's 0 sugar 7-Up.
Yeah, I'm
Like
doing
the
Buffalo
bitch I am.
Trace and Diet Coke.
I'm
7 Up.
doing Jameson Black Barrel.
Nice. So before we
Neat.
start, chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. So this will be kind of a quick episode, a quickie.
4 hours later.
That's all I got. It's quick.
It's pronounced quiche. I have a story from a while ago that someone relayed to me and was told never to talk about it because of possible ramifications and things that might happen.
Against you or them?
Both.
Oh, is this going to put us in a bad spot?
Hell yeah, I'm all for
Maybe.
it. Let's go.
But
I'm pretty good.
Based-
I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm fine too.
I don't got anything to live for. Based on a recent movie that came out with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson, this individual told me, oh shit, they know about this. Maybe it's not such a secret. Go ahead and tell the story, but don't use my name.
Well, can you tell us the story of the Channing Tatum story?
What's the movie called?
What's the movie?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But it's basic.
She's
That was
the
almost
man?
a good shot. It's basically Channing Tatum is the flight director for the first mission to the moon at NASA. And Scarlett Johansson is a marketing specialist that was hired to film a fake landing of the moon just in case we didn't get there.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Fly Me to the Moon. That's a pretty reasonable name for a movie.
So
It came out last year.
when you say the first flight, is that the flight that supposedly landed on the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's hear
So
this.
if you haven't seen the movie, it's phenomenal, even though I don't remember the name of it.
No, I'm not sure.
It's called Flying Me to the Moon.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Just came out in 2024. We just covered that.
So, before I get into the story, I wanted to throw out, there's a funny 2-second clip at the very end of the movie. So, in the movie, Woody Harrelson plays this, like, government agent that just, like, has no boundaries and, like, always disappears and shows up at the weirdest moment. And at the end of the movie, Scarlett Johansson, the marketing specialist, asks him, like, so I have one question for you. And he stops and turns around as he's walking out of the hangar, and she's like, do aliens exist? And he just smiles and says, honey, they've been here for a long time, and just walks off, and that's how the movie ends. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So you seen this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
couldn't remember the name of it
Couldn't
because it's
remember
such a
the
great movie.
So
But we should go see it
Yeah.
if we only knew the name of it.
yeah, that's very,
Number- your
very,
number-
very, very.
He's talking to you. FYI.
I'll take it.
So this experience that this person had, they were working for a company called Grumman Aerospace. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them.
Really? Grumman Northrop.
Grumman Northrop. Very, very reputable aerospace technology.
Ex-military.
Yeah. You know exactly
I
what
know
I'm talking
exactly
about.
what you're talking about.
I believe this was in the 70s. This person was on a lunch break and was like, you know, fuck it, I'm just going to go walk around, see what kind of planes they got in the hangars and all this shit. Walk into one of the hangars, and it is spot for spot. The entire hangar is a movie setup of the moon landing. Cameras, everything.
The person that told you this is the one that walked in on this?
Mhm.
Okay.
And was like, oh shit, they're filming a movie, like I shouldn't be here. As he was leaving, a couple of men in black suits came up to him, took him to a room and said, you didn't see shit, you aren't allowed to say you see shit, like we will like
Ruin your career.
ruin
everything.
your family,
You'll
your
disappear.
families, everything. And to this day, he does not believe that we landed on the moon. He thinks it was a hoax,
A production.
a production.
Can I say that I agree already? I'm on his side.
So I just wanted
whoever
to
this guy is.
I just wanted to get your guys' interpretations. Do you think that if it was a movie set, they would have just been like, oh, just you didn't see anything. We're just filming a movie.
It depends on what. Well, it kind of depends. Or were they filming for something else or whatever? You just don't know. Saying that, I mean, yeah, obviously you're thinking the first moon landing. My grandfather told me as a young man that was all bullcrap. It was all Hollywood. It was done in the desert, and he thoroughly believed that.
When did this person walk in to this?
I believe it was the early 70s.
Oh, so it was during that time then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I for one don't think it happened anyway. I mean, I'm for one, I believe.
So the biggest theory out there is that
We wanted to beat someone there.
they have the historical footage, which I recently started trying to wrap my head around, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense. They have footage of him coming out of the spacecraft
Yeah.
and first steps on Mars.
Yeah. If someone was out there filming.
How the
Mars
fuck?
or moon?
The moon. I'm sorry, the moon.
So how was someone
How
out
did they
there
get the camera?
filming?
That releases
Someone had to have been
next
out there
year.
with a camera.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't the first motherfucker
Yeah.
on the moon.
Here's what sold me on that, on it not happening, is when Buzz Aldrin himself personally said it did not happen.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
I never heard Buzz Aldrin
Yeah.
say that.
What, oh,
Just
really?
recently. It was just recently.
There,
Oh, is that right?
I don't know how recent it was, but I know there's videos. There was a little girl that asked
That's compelling.
what was the scariest thing about landing on the moon.
like,
And he paused, and he was like, the scariest thing, huh? He goes, the fact that it never happened.
I would love to see that.
I can pull it up here whenever.
Because I know he
I
knocked,
get a
And
he
we-
knocked the
you know what,
reporter
we
out
should
for
probably
asking
edit
him
that
if
in here.
why he faked
I
it.
don't know if we can
Did he
legally
really?
do that.
Fuck yeah, it was like a
Because there was
30.
a little
already
girl
out.
that asked.
Well, no, that on this one, it was
okay.
a news reporter who's like mid 30s. He's like 72 or
yeah,
so,
old man.
and he goes, "So why'd you fake it? Why'd you lie to the American public?" And he turns around and knocks the motherfucker out
No
cold.
shit.
No
Yeah,
shit.
I
I'm
remember
like,
that.
I haven't seen
damn.
that one.
That was in the 90s, wasn't it?
That was for it might have been in the
90s.
90s.
But you raised a good question, as in, who the fuck got there first
Well,
to set up the camera?
that was like, and
No, it's because it's
and
on the
who
on the actual vehicle.
who videotaped
On
it?
the coming down, it was actually no.
Yeah, but it was over here. The camera was over here as he came down. As he came down.
I don't
the
believe
steps.
we ever. And why haven't we been back?
So the biggest
Because what we
thing.
found on it,
What did we find on it?
found.
I think we found.
So my theory,
Madonna.
Just
No, you and I are going down the same road.
yeah,
on this.
so some of it is filmed. Some of it they didn't get good video footage, and we had to prove that we hit there to put another country down.
Russia, right?
Yep, Russia. We were in a space race. The problem. Sorry, I'm watching this milligauss keep going up. It's at
The
it's at
milliliter is?
Yeah, it's going up to 19. The more we talk about this,
Holy shit.
At one point, I've been 19.
it's now
I
20.
was saying it's a 2.
But this isn't going over. This isn't going up.
It's 20 or 2.0?
20 milligauss.
Wow.
And it keeps going up as we're talking about the moon landing. And I'm like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, Mr. Prober. Anyways,
I love it. Let's get them all here.
so the reason why they had to refilm stuff, A, to make it look good, B, they caught stuff that they didn't want to show the public. So they had to refilm certain aspects to make sure they know. There are mirrors on the moon. There you can see the remnants of the shuttle. Telescopes now can go in and pick that up.
Our shuttle?
Yeah.
Not our shuttle. The landing pod that landed and then blasted off. It left the flag and some other stuff.
So that's what the shuttle you're talking about?
Yeah,
What
that
are the
shuttle's-
mirrors ours?
Yeah, well, the mirrors were placed at another later date. We've done,
When you're done, I have a question.
and then the rover. There's other things that so Japan and Russia have both been by and filmed it. I mean, if we didn't land, they would be the first people to go, "Oh bullshit, this isn't up there," type thing. So everything leads that we made it. I don't think it's 100% factual the way we said it happened. There are rumors that there was structures found, and that's why they refilmed certain things so you don't see the structures,
What kind of structures, like were
like man-made or
so Intelligent life.
Yes.
Intelligent life.
Okay.
And that's where the theory. So have you heard about the hollow moon theory? So
Yeah,
when they
that it's
left, they did a
Dyson
charge
sphere.
on it to do a seismic check, and it rang for a long time like it was hollow. Then they started looking.
What would that mean?
Dyson sphere.
It's literally a man-made sphere. It's not an actual.
Or not man-made, but
So the moon is
someone built
man-made?
it. Yeah.
It's an artificial structure that's actually hollow.
Have you ever
And
seen the movie Moonfall?
No. I'm not. I watch comedies.
Yes.
Just,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, that's pretty close to a
so,
comedy.
man,
That moon's fake. But that's also when you start looking at why are the craters all evenly formed around it? Why aren't because like craters on the United States?
Well, skid marks.
so what would be what would go with that, saying that something much larger than Earth created the moon? Is that
And
what
they put
that's
it in-
saying? Like,
Well, it depends on what Indian culture you go. There are some Indian cultures that have stories stating that there used to not be a moon, that the moon was brought here by spirits and placed for observance, and it is at a perfect distance to maintain orbit and to modulate our tides. The moon actually helps the Earth way more than what people realize.
with
'Cause
gravity, right?
gravity, the tides, and it's because of its gravity, asteroids coming in, they hit the moon more than it would hit the Earth compared to what wiped out the dinosaurs. So there's implications that could be an artificial structure that somebody put there to take care of us.
Now, would that be inside the firmament or outside the firmament?
Inside.
Inside.
Okay.
So
We're at 26.
one of the theories, well, it's not a theory. I mean, I think they've taken pictures and proved this that could resonate with what you were just saying, that it's a man-made artificial structure. Is that the moon, when you take photos of it like up close, is actually rusted over. It's got a red patina on the surface covering most of it because of rust from water and
Which
all that
isn't
kind of
supposed to
stuff.
be there.
Which is
So what would that mean?
It means that
made of metal.
it's a artificial structure that's actually, with the implication of water, means that there could have been life on it. That like
Why would
as
they
an
hide
observation.
that? Like, why would that be something that they wouldn't want to disclose?
because that falls back into, think about when
Religion?
they were doing this back in early 70s. Religion, that throws a big monkey wrench into a lot of people's beliefs that because some people believe we're made in God's image and which implies that we're the only ones made. Depends on how you interpret that.
Right.
So then now you're looking at, well, everything some people believe just got disproved, and then it was the Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey Contact.
Great movie.
Sounds like
Yeah.
I need to watch a shitload of movies. Jeez.
You've never seen
I
Contact?
think you'd find it very compelling.
Oh wow, Contact is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, edge of your seat.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, that's
Okay.
they do a very good job talking about it because they actually do time slip, like
Yeah.
they talk about certain things.
So my question that I was going to ask, I don't know if this goes into it or not. You said radar, or not radars, but satellites pick it up. How come when we see pictures of Earth, we never see any satellites in those pictures? If there's supposed to be, what, like 17,000 of them up there, or some number, I don't know, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah,
But,
there's
like,
a ton of it.
how come you don't see those in pictures of Earth?
Because-
you think with that many satellites, you would see them all around.
Because they're further away than the cameras
Okay.
picking up.
Okay.
Like the International Space Station is actually a lot closer than you think it is, compared to where the satellites and stuff are.
Yeah.
From what I
I try to do a lot of stuff on flat Earth versus round Earth. So that was one of the questions.
And
that
a lot of it-
Earthers would ask.
All the ocean has no bubbles in it, so it's flat Earth.
You believe it's flat Earth or not? I mean, that's.
Well, it's
how
not,
you
it's
say
not
that,
sparkling.
I have no clue if that's even a legit
So-
statement with the
Sorry,
bubbles or whatever.
I'm just talking about like
You could say a bunch of stuff and it's gonna go because I'm not very
water.
smart
If
when
it
comes
doesn't
to
have
that.
sparkling water, it's either flat water or sparkling water.
So
There's
I
no
want to
bubbles.
put something.
Okay.
I want to put something in
I've had
perspective.
probably a few many of those.
So you
So.
finish that bottle off. What are you talking about?
I want to put something in perspective for you.
Right.
All right. So
Can I have one of these? Or is
yeah,
this, okay.
absolutely. Take a tennis ball. That's because he picked it up.
Oh.
He's like, oh shit!
Like they don't want me to have the gummies.
Take a tennis ball, for instance.
It's at 36 until I grab it.
And then it went back down.
It's 38. And when I grab it, it goes down. It's 39.
Well, they like the moon. Let's keep talking about the moon.
But what? It's not.
What if
setting
I
this
leave
up.
the room?
We'll test that here in a minute.
Okay.
I want to finish this first.
Okay.
It's 42.
Just eat them all.
You sure?
Yeah.
43.
Take it. Take. I'm trying to.
I hope
ignore
you were
that.
being serious
Yes.
because I ate all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's fine. Take a tennis ball, for instance. All right? Say that's, from our perspective, that's the Earth.
Right.
That's the Earth. When you're talking about a satellite, you're talking maybe most of like 50 to 100 feet wide diameter and size. The perspective that those images are capturing, you can see the full curvature of the Earth. You're talking tens of thousands of miles spanning
If the
in a
pictures
single.
are legit.
If the pictures are legit, you're talking something that's 100 feet big. You're not going to pick those up.
Okay. That's fair.
And another thing is too that all of the light that's being emitted from the sun hitting the Earth that you're capturing of the illuminated Earth is flashbanging out. I don't know what the term is,
Hanging out.
but
I'll flashbang you.
but it's
You could be saying the wrong
the
word,
focus from the illumination of the Earth drowns out any illumination from a 100-foot object that could possibly be there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Not really, because
Okay.
my mind's kind of gone right now. But I mean,
It's been a long night.
but it sounds. I mean,
And
it sounds scientific. So
So-
I mean, you could be saying bullshit right
In
now.
another-
I
in-
wouldn't understand. Like,
in another perspective issue, when we think about the surface of the Earth, it's fucking elevation
place,
all
yeah.
over the place.
Between deepest oceans all the way up to...
If you were to shrink the Earth to the size of a pool ball, it would be smoother than a pool ball. That's how minuscule elevations across the surface of the Earth are in reality.
So, and just real quick, and just this could be a quick answer, don't it? Because I know you guys are like this is supposed to be a quick one.
No, this is how this normally goes.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a full
Do
one.
you believe flat Earth or do you believe round Earth?
I believe that anything is possible.
I
Okay.
believe it's I don't think it's perfectly round. I think the
Because
photos
the
have
moon's
been
not
altered.
round. The moon's a lemon shape.
That perfect sphere that they show doesn't.
It's not it, right?
Not it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's no different.
I kind of feel like it's. And I saw what was that black guy's name? He's a scientist.
Neil deGrasse
Neil-
Tyson.
Thank
Neil
you.
Tyson deGrasse.
He was talking about like it's, and I'm throwing numbers out here, so don't quote the numbers. But he was like, it's like 15 feet thick, but like 100 feet long. So it's like,
Yeah.
so it is kind of round, but at the
more
same
like
time,
an egg.
yeah, it's more of a
Like a
We
football
actually
shape.
we
Kind
expand
of, yeah.
more in the center versus the,
right. So it could look like.
Now, some of the shit flat earthers believe that we're floating on a disc on the top of a giant space turtle.
What gets me are the flight things.
Yeah.
That's what really makes me wonder
That's a lot of drugs.
if we do.
I'm not mad
have-
at you. If you gotta do drugs to make yourself feel better, do it.
I love that they've done the experiments like
I lo-
trying to shoot the laser
I-
across
I love
and
the-
improved it.
I
And
love
they're
the
like,
turtle.
they're like, oh shit, well this disproves us. Well, that can't be right. Let's try something else. and it's like,
And I'm
you
not.
just fucking
And I'm
disproved
not
yourself.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
I'm open to either way.
I am too.
There are a lot of compelling arguments that
'Cause-
we have flat Earth and we're under a firmament.
Well,
But I mean,
you could even go one further and say that we're inside the wall.
the ice wall.
The ice wall, and that
Antarctica.
all of these other realms
winter's coming.
are outside the ice wall.
It is this week. Another storm coming in.
Oh no
Yeah,
shit.
we're supposed to get like
When?
7 inches of snow.
7
When?
to 10 inches between the two.
Tuesday and
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
And
I'll
Thursday.
be home by then. All right.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go see the kids.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. See Brandon's new home.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Have the Super Bowl party.
So I just wanted to get everybody's quick interpretation of that. One of the biggest
Yeah,
things
quick.
that shows me that the filming or the moon landing was filmed was when you look at the videos of them walking around on the moon. They're never like walking around. They're always at an angle like this, as if they're being like way down but held up by a cable
Yeah.
as they're walking, and it's just not natural.
No, I can see all of that. I can see
Yeah.
all that.
You can't trust the government.
No,
I mean,
true, too.
I mean, the
anything,
fact that
I
they
mean-
said they're aliens now make me question whether or not there's aliens.
You know what? God damn, you laugh.
No,
But
that's
the
a real
minute that
statement.
they came out and said, yes, aliens are real, that made me wonder,
nah.
is it really now? Because I was on the other side of,
Yeah.
oh, there's definitely aliens.
Yeah.
Like, we're not the only,
Yeah, there's no way.
there's no way that we're
No.
the only life
And now you're
form.
like, well-
But then they're like, oh, yeah, we got aliens. Because I'm like, okay, well, if they're admitting that, what the fuck else is going
Well,
on?
they're
that
doing.
hiding?
They're showing you this where they can hide.
Yeah,
this
100.
over here.
It's always like that.
It's always a slight
And
envy.
so,
What do they call it? Gaslighting.
yeah. But you know what's funny is I saw a meme on Facebook, and of course you take that for what it's worth. But it said, for one, we're the aliens. For one, was the but it showed a an alien and an ape that they fucked, and we were created. That's why we are so similar
So that's
to
what-
apes. And they're saying this is a conversation that people aren't ready for. Now, it makes sense.
So
and
is-
I'm a conspiracy theorist, so of course I'm like, "Arr, arr, arr."
Who's Dave Ape?
Have you ever watched the
Planet of the Apes
with
Helen-
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, that was
That
Helen.
main chick, I would have put my
That's
penis
Helen
in her.
But Carter.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it's
But she was an ape, and
Helena
I would
Bonham
have definitely
Carter?
put my penis
yeah,
in her.
she's the female that was.
So
in
that
Who was
that
it?
brings up an interesting Helena Bonham Carter.
I don't know
She's
who
the one that
that
always
is.
plays with
she
Johnny
was
Depp.
married.
God damn.
Yeah,
She's the one that plays next to Johnny Depp in a lot of stuff.
So how are you picking up these readings? But our
you seen
millimeters not going off.
Have you seen Harry Potter?
You know what?
She's the
My
one-
girlfriend's daughter's
We're
trying to
at
get me to
100
watch them. I've watched the first one.
She was the
We're
crazy
at
evil
205.
witch.
I've only watched the first one.
Yeah,
So-
why don't you start? Hey, can we start recording something digital?
Yeah, but let me ask.
Get your phone going and start asking some
But
questions.
I want
It's at 2:15 right now.
Get your recorder going.
I'm listening.
I know, but these guys aren't.
That's okay. We're not usually listening to you anyway.
So you brought up the point that the ape thing.
Right.
Is that the reason Bigfoot is so fucking aggressive towards us? Because we're the aliens, and it's like these
Could be.
motherfuckers are on our planet.
Could be.
Well,
it's
there's
possible.
I mean,
there are a lot of different stories on how we were made. Some stories talk about how we were already here, and when the certain species came here,
They created
effed with,
Bigfoot.
Well, they effed with our DNA to keep us from being immortal. Like we used to be way long lived.
They're like the Anunnaki people.
Yeah. And then there's others, like if you get into the Indian belief, that they believe that they came down and there were primates that they messed with the DNA so they could have a more intelligent slave population. That's what we're stemming from.
What if the Anunnaki people are just putting this shit inside of our heads and watching how we respond to it?
It's possible.
It could be a big experiment for them.
Right.
Yeah, we're a big petri
Well, I mean,
dish.
it gets kind of because we know that we have certain segments in our DNA that don't match.
Well,
right?
they have that R blood type that's supposedly alien.
negative.
R
I'm
negative.
literally B negative, which
don't
I started
know
looking
what
into
mine
that
is.
because like
I
B
don't know why
negative,
it is
we're at 326.
Okay, are you digitally recording?